Welcome back to 94.7, hottest station on the motherfucking web, yo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today we got a very special guest for you. His name
LP, what it do, everybody? What it do?
Man, I gotta say, he the hottest new rapper. You ain't never heard nothing like this in your life. He gon' give you a little step into his craft here in a second. But I gotta start off with asking you, LP. Man, it's a pleasure having you.
Always.
Man, LP, I gotta ask you. You never revealed the real meaning of your name, but man, LP gotta stand for something crazy, right? Like it gotta stand for like. Little promiscuous, ain't you? It ain't little promiscuous.
I can be promiscuous. I'll tell you that.
It ain't little promiscuous?
No, it is not what it is.
All right, LP.
Keep guessing.
LP gotta stand for something like little pimping. You little pimping, ain't you? That little pimping.
I do be pimping. I do be pimping. But my pimping ain't Lil. So I wrong too. That's not
my
right.
Bad.
There you go.
That's not right. Okay. I got it. You almost got me. LP gotta stand for something crazy like little pussy destroyer, ain't it?
Hey,
little pussy destroyer, ain't
you
it?
Basically right there, man. I just be destroying pussy with some little. You know what I'm saying?
What?
LP, little penis. That's me, man. LP.
Oh,
little
shit.
Penis. That's my name. That's what they call me on the streets, anyways.
Hey, man, I ain't never gonna hate on this game. Little penis up in this motherfucker. You heard it here first. Now, before we really get into it, he gonna show us a little something.
A little freestyle.
Little freestyle for us.
Little freestyle.
Now, hold on. Let me get a little beat going on. Hold on now. Ready? Let's get it. Are you ready? Hold on.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
is hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Little penis on the
little
track.
Penis. Little penis.
Little penis.
Little penis.
He got little penis.
Whoa. The beat hasn't started yet. It's all right though, because I'm about to come in with super hot fire. They call me LP, and you already know what that means.
Oh shit!
Little penis. All night long.
Oh my god!
Little penis, also known as little dong.
Oh my god! Hold on!
Oh my god! Come on, man! Come on, man!
That ain't the shit you don't
It's too easy. Little penis coming
life.
at you all year long. Don't forget it. I'm reaching the tops. Little
man.
penis reaching the tops.
Better than Nas, better than Tupac, better than Biggie. He coming at.
Shout out to all the greats. I appreciate it, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. Shout out all the greats. Shout out all the greats that became before Lil P, a.k.a. Lil Penis.
Lil Penis to the moon, baby.
To the moon.
We get a little mercury poison from that.
Yeah, dude, my gums are tingling.
Man, coming at you fucking hard. Motherfucker, I'm on this fucking mic just like commanding shit. Go over there, suck that dick. You ready, motherfucker? Is you ready, you
already know.
Bitch?
Lil Penis, always ready to go.
You motherfucker, ain't you? You motherfucker. Nah, hold on now. And welcome back.
Welcome back. It is the shittiest podcast on the internet. I am Lonnie.
And you already know who the fuck this is.
I know who that is.
Welcome back to the Shittiest podcast on the internet. We wanted to.
That is Alex, by the way.
Oh yeah,
this is
Alex.
Just in case.
Just in case. But we wanted to come at you with a crazy topic straight off the rip because we were actually talking about it right before the podcast. Lonnie, I would love to hear your opinions on this. I know my opinions on this. A polarizing character in today's society, today's internet.
Today's media, I mean.
He's known as the top motherfucking G, Andrew Tate. I wanted to hear your opinions on it. Wanted to hear your feedback, see what you thought. I know he's a polarizing character. You either love him or you hate him. There's no in between.
There really isn't. Most people don't have an in between on that fella. And I gotta agree with you. He's a polarizing character, an enthralling person, if you will.
Right.
Like, let's just start with the basics. Like, he's a fucking world kickboxing champion, right?
It's true.
That's pretty impressive.
Former,
Correct. Former, not anymore. But he's put some work in. Clearly, he's got some shit done in his life.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I don't know. I think he's clearly a character. I think lots of people like to forget that, or like to downplay the fact that he genuinely is a character. Obviously, he is Andrew Tate, but at the same time, Andrew Tate's not gonna fucking fight his firstborn in Mortal Kombat, like he said he would that one time. Like, he's not gonna do something like that. We all know that. He's not a fucking crazy person. He's just very what's the word I'm looking for? Charismatic in a way.
He's charismatic.
I don't know. He's interesting. He's very interesting because he's multifaceted in a way. He's obviously got a good eye for business because he's got his own shit.
So
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a scam or anything like that.
Hold on.
I don't know much about all the logistics.
Let me ask you. So Andrew Tate, clearly polarizing. You either love him, you hate him.
Yeah.
Some of the things that people have qualms about him with. Obviously, his point of view on everything is his core values come down to, for masculinity, trying to teach young men how to become masculine, how to lead their lives,
how to be men,
lead
right?
from the front. And I think he broke it down in a viral podcast that came out a few days ago, the PBD podcast.
What does that stand for?
Honestly, I don't fucking know.
PBD? What comes to mind when you hear PBD?
Penis.
Pretty big dick is what I think of.
Ooh,
right? Pretty big
dick.
Perfect acronym.
That's a perfect fucking acronym.
They go, do you have a PhD? No, I have a PBD.
They're like, what's that?
Pretty big dick. Or, well, actually, you could also go, I do have a PhD, actually.
Pretty
huge dick.
I mean, it works either way,
We're giving you guys free game right now. Please, come on.
So he really did. So he basically broke down to masculinity, how he views masculinity, how he views leading the young generation as something as far as breaks it down as like 3 core values. I think he went something like sexual appeal, or he's respected by women, which gives him sexual access. He can defend himself, and he's wealthy, which means he has financial freedom, which means he can do what he wants in his life. Don't quote me on that, but something similar to that. What are your thoughts on like people who say he's a bad influence, people who say he shouldn't have a big of a platform because they think that he has representative of toxic masculinity?
Well, I'm going to say I do think toxic masculinity exists. I'm not going to get into how I think it exists because I truly don't think I fully understand the subject enough.
Okay.
But I do think masculinity has some toxic areas, especially in the way this is just a little tangent, but just sharing feelings in general. Men are usually taught to keep it bottled inside. Don't show your emotions. Don't show your feelings because it's not manly, or like men don't cry and shit, right? I think that's like a terrible, I think with that kind of toxic masculinity, I think that's terrible, right? I feel like everybody should show their emotions. But I do think masculinity, or even toxic masculinity, has good things, like things that you should strive for, like, being able to like defend yourself or something along those lines, right? Like, yes. being able to defend yourself or your loved ones is important, correct? And it's another part of masculinity. Maybe that's I think on the more positive side, like you should hit the gym, or you should work out, or you should, take self-defense classes or something and try to improve yourself a little bit in that area. And that'll like that's like the good forms of toxic masculinity. But I think him in general with Andrew Tate is the fact that he's obviously a character, like I said, and he says things that shouldn't be taken seriously, but he also says things that most definitely should be taken seriously. He's a good role model in the sense that he's done a lot with his life, and in the fact that he is wealthy and he is knowledgeable in multiple areas and he is healthy, so to speak. So there's lots of things that you definitely can learn from him, and there is lots of things that he portrays that are definitely positive and that young men, especially young men, should take, and put into their own lives in a sense. Like, like with like just like working out and being healthier, or being more I don't know, I guess just trying to feel and have a little bit more bravado in general. I feel like those kinds of things are very important, and I feel like he's showcasing that it's okay to be a man. I feel like recently, like, they might have been like downplaying it, or like making it seem like being a man is like
not
can
a
be a
good
bad thing, or is not a good thing, or being a masculine can be a bad thing, but it's really not, because each and every person is entitled to live life the way they want to live, and if someone wants to live masculinely or more femininely, they're totally allowed and should be able to do that without repercussion or consequence. But someone choosing to be more masculine should definitely not be not ostracized or criticized. Should not be criticized by others, whether they're more masculine or more feminine themselves. I feel like being who you need to be, like to be who you are, like you need to be who you are, correct? So I feel like some people are just naturally more masculine, some people are naturally more feminine, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to criticize and talk shit to people that aren't the same as you, or they're not as masculine, or even they're not as feminine, and you want to talk shit to them, like, that's where it needs to, like, that in general just needs to stop, I think. But
yeah,
he has, like I said, he has good things and he has bad things, but I feel like most of the messages he sends are fairly positive for especially a young man, to start implementing into their life.
I would agree with that last point. I would agree with a lot of the things that you say as far as, masculinity has been portrayed, I feel like, in a negative light. But I feel like it's because masculinity kind of got put into this box of it's funny when, like, for example, when if you're scrolling through Twitter, and I think anybody can agree with this, even I catch myself kind of agreeing with things that I don't necessarily agree with, just because it's popular. Yeah. So, for example, if you're scrolling through Twitter and you see a tweet, whatever it may be, Andrew Tate sucks big fat black dick, right?
Yeah.
And if it's got 100,000 likes, this is an exaggeration, but you might agree with that statement, right? You're more inclined to agree with the popular...
this is just a hypothetical, by the way.
Yeah, this is hypothetical.
But yeah, when you see it has a fuck ton of likes, you're just like, fuck it, I'll like it too. That's funny.
Yes.
Even if you don't truly believe what the statement is,
exactly.
You either think, hey, it's funny, whatever, or you're just like, well, everyone else liked it, so I might as well too. It's very easy to fall into that, well, everybody else is doing it mindset,
Yes.
even with it something as simple
just agreeing
as a
with a popular opinion, even though you don't yourself fully agree with it. Now, I'll start by saying this as far as my views on Andrew Tate. I don't agree with 100% of the things he says. Yeah. I think that if you hate him and you have your reasons, cool. If you love him, you have your reasons, cool. I personally don't give a fuck. But my views on it are, I truly do believe that he is a good, refreshing breath of air. I know that me and Lonnie spoke about this off camera, but I know a little bit more about the situation as far as him going to... not, of course, I'm not
all the legal allegations and things like along that sort of line. I'm not even going to get into any specifics because I don't really know anything.
Hold on, so
just him and his brother have been in some deep water recently. So
yeah, so him and his brother went to jail recently. Now, as far as the charges, I guess they had 7 counts that they were trying to charge them with of human trafficking.
Which is not good. Don't do that.
No.
If you're watching, don't traffic people. It is not nice.
You shouldn't traffic people.
No, you definitely.
Unless it's on a Thursday, then maybe. Anyways, so... so
on to the next topic.
So he... No. So he, as far as, they went to prison and they got out. There was 7 counts of human trafficking going towards the both of them.
Yeah.
And they dropped 6 of those accounts, and they are now on house arrest, and they're only facing 1 count of human trafficking. My problem with all
is
of
still
this,
pretty bad.
Hold on though. They haven't been charged with it though because they have no evidence.
I know.
So that's where my problem with it is a lot of people love, and this is where I was going with the whole popularity thing, is a lot of people don't truly know or listen to long form content of Andrew Tate. I have, and they don't really understand his overall perfect message. Like, they just look at clips, they look at what the popular opinion is, and they follow that. And I feel like that's wrong because, first of all, it's kind of like, he is a very obviously polarizing, but he can be good for a lot of reasons as far as, his core values, like get to the gym. Is that wrong? No. You should have financial freedom. Is that wrong? Obviously not. Yeah. And even like people who say he doesn't respect women, like, well, you really haven't listened to him speak for long forms. You just took a clip.
Yeah, you've heard those in-character jokes that he's made, about women belonging in the kitchen. But, like, even if you think, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to get into, super specifics because I don't know the specifics. But, it comes from a more traditional standpoint, right? He's not saying all women belong in the kitchen, but he's saying if your husband's a breadwinner or whatever, right? Fucking, make him a sandwich.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I don't know, but
I feel like as far as Andrew Tate, I feel like a lot of people can take him out of context.
Yeah, that's they take him a lot out of context.
And popularity. It's popular to hate him, so a lot of people will hate him, but it's also popular to love him, and a lot of people will love him because of that. I just think that it's a breath of fresh air that he's also saying you should be a free-minded individual. Don't listen to everything on the news, and obviously this sounds, like a cliche, but don't listen to take truth to everything that you hear. Don't believe everything that you see. Don't believe everything that you hear. And it's fucking true. I mean, a lot of fucking people, the same people who are bitching about COVID in 2020, telling me to wear a fucking mask and telling me that I can't go outside and being like, oh, well, you have a grandma and you have this and that. It's like, yeah, fucking so does everybody. And guess what? It was literally essentially like the common cold. Yeah, we didn't have necessarily a counter to it, but I don't know. I feel like those same people who said those things are kind of hypocrites now, because guess what? Now we're all just fucking walking around the fucking goddamn streets without masks, and it doesn't fucking matter. So
what's funny is when you see those people that still wear masks. When's the last time you see someone wear a mask? I think I saw it like a week or two ago. I saw someone with a mask, but I don't know if it was a mask for COVID reasons or if they were just like one of those awkward people that wears facial masks because they're scared of public, being in public,
Well, it's interesting because you've seen people before COVID wear masks, right? And you were always like, what the fuck are they doing? They're like, you're kind of like, what the fuck's going on? But
now that it's happening afterwards, you're like, are you just one of those people, or are you just are you a COVID person, or are you one of those people?
Yeah, right.
Now you really don't know the difference.
It's kind of that.
I feel like if they're wearing, if it's like a medical mask, like a blue one or whatever, probably COVID related. But if they're just wearing like a fashionable face mask, it's definitely they just don't like showing their face.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. I feel like it's like that's just like public stage fright, no? Like you don't want people to see your face.
Yeah.
What are you, a criminal?
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Are you that shy? Well, no, but they're so shy and scared and they're not used to the public eye. But like, yeah, what are you, a criminal? Like, do you commit crimes at night? Why don't you want nobody to see your face? And even if most people aren't that ugly where they need to hide their face. Most people. I'm not saying there definitely is a couple people out there that should be walking around with paper bags on their heads.
Definitely.
But not everybody. And I can guarantee you lots of those people wearing masks because they're scared of what people would think. they're probably fucking normal looking, or they're probably fine looking. It's just like it's the human mind, the mental, your mental is a crazy thing, because your brain can tell you something that's not really true, but your brain told you so. Now you fucking believe it like it's 100% fact.
That's
Like
true.
your brain could be like, oh my God, I look fat this morning in this mirror. And you're not fat at all, but since your brain told you you're fat, you think you're a fat pig.
Yep.
You know? It's crazy how the brain works, man. The brain is a super duper powerful thing.
It is a super duper powerful thing. You ever think about like let's say you were looking in the mirror and you're like, I'm a fish.
Well, I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it works like that.
You don't think so? So like all the people who look in the mirror and like,
yeah, I think if you want to,
I'm a cat.
If you want to be a boy or a girl, or even if you want to be non-binary, I think is fine. If you want to be a they them, but once you start saying I want to be a wolf boy, or if I'm going to be a fish, or I'm going to be platypus, but you're not. You're human.
No, I'm a fish.
No, can you breathe underwater?
Yeah.
That's no, I don't think you can.
But I'm a fish though.
But you're not.
You sure?
Do you have the same pronoun? Well, do fish have the same pronouns?
Yes.
What is your pronouns? Fish?
Aqua marine.
No, that's a color.
No, it's not.
Fish are colorblind too.
Aqua/marine.
Fish are colorblind.
I'm colorblind.
What color is that?
Black.
No, but yeah, like people, like, but that's like some people, like when that happens, they're just fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, no.
Their brain's telling them that they're a wolf or a fish, and they believe it. They're crazy.
When people start going off the rails like that, I have a hard time taking anything they say seriously.
Yeah, when it's when it's I'm a wolf boy and I'm an ethereal being that's not of this realm. You're Toby. You're still Toby. You're still a normal human.
On this topic, actually, of controversies and we're going to get real fucking crazy in this podcast, people. So on the topic of all this, what we've been saying, like, also another thing we want to talk about is Nick Merckx.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if...
You want to open that can of worms?
We'll open that can of worms and we'll close it really quick. I just want to know... I want to know your opinion. So, Nick Merckx, for anyone who doesn't know, is a professional streamer. He streams on Twitch, plays some Apex Legends. He was probably most well known for playing Warzone 1.
Warzone back in the day.
When it first came out. But he recently commented under a post where he said...
on Twitter, correct?
Yes, where he said that... it was like a LGBT pride march, and then underneath it he commented, the real problem is they need to leave the kids alone. My whole thing with this, right, is how and I'll put it up on screen, but from that alone, they took his content off of Call of Duty, the video game. My whole thing with it is, how are you going to take a person who's as marketable as a person like Nick Merckx, who does charity, who has a family, he's a family man.
Let's also be real here. Who the fuck is the Call of Duty player base? Is it like Nick Merckx, or is it like the LGBT? I'm pretty sure
that's interesting, isn't it?
Pretty sure it's more with the whole Bud Light or whatever the fuck Bud Light thing.
Yeah.
It's like these marketing people, it's like, do you know your audience? It's like, I know we should be inclusive of everybody, and I totally support and understand that. But at the same time, you're starting to ostracize your own audience a little bit, with your super, pro woke thing, with the pro woke stuff, which is, like I said, everybody's equal. Everybody should be involved, but at the same time, don't ostracize all the people that are buying your fucking product.
Right.
That's just a business move,
That is a business move.
It's just a business move. It's not a thing. It's just a business thing.
My thing is, nowadays, there's no loyalty in business. So these big corporations, because of social media, outrage can happen in the matter of minutes. So what these big corporations are doing is they have no loyalty in their people that are the people that they're backing. They will let go and cut loose in seconds because the outrage of something as simple as the real problem is they should leave the kids out of it or leave the kids alone. The outrage was in a matter of minutes on both sides, was agreeing and disagreeing. And the problem with that is nowadays
it's too much heat for them to keep around, so they dump
they
them.
think that. But do you remember that video that I sent you of Jordan Peterson? I don't know if you watched it, but I can try and put it up. Jordan Peterson said basically, just long story short, he said, if you truly believe something and you stand behind it and you say it, you should never apologize for it. And essentially, he was speaking from his own personal experience. Jordan Peterson's also I think he was a prior Harvard. For anyone who doesn't know, he's a prior Harvard professor.
He's
and
a smart guy. He's a very smart guy.
Very smart guy. And yeah, so he basically was like, the angry mob's gonna come after you for a week, maybe 2 weeks. But if you stand your ground and don't apologize, they'll stop. It's true. But people are so quick nowadays to be like, oh, I didn't mean that, or I
think
pussies.
Yeah,
nowadays.
dude, because
Just
I
fucking
think
pussies.
because you know what, the tweet itself, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Obviously, the tweet he didn't say all LGBTQ people.
You can't even have opinions anymore.
Yeah, he didn't say all LGBTQ people fuck kids. That's not what he said at all.
No.
He just said leave kids alone.
And he was saying leave kids alone because, first of all, he just had a child. Second of all, the post that he commented under was people riding in a school board, and parents were basically attacking the school board, being like, hey, don't teach our fucking kids when they go to your public school. Don't teach them about trans and pride and push it in their face because we want to have those conversations at our household. What the fuck is wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the message he said was very simple. He didn't say anything derogatory to anybody. All he said was leave children alone. And I think that statement on its own is one that should obviously always be supported. Because I mean, kids are the easiest ones that can become victims, in our society, right? Now, whether it's fucking anybody that preys on a child is a fucking disgusting, terrible human being, and they're not Gucci. I'll tell you that right now. So just in general, whether they're fucking LGBT or not, fucking just protect our children. And I think that's a very simple yet powerful, sentence. It's like there's nothing wrong with that statement. Protect the children. They didn't do anything wrong. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. But let's just make sure they're protected and nothing bad happens to them. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
My problem with it is my personal beliefs, and obviously everyone's personal beliefs are different, but my problem with it is that, again, everyone's personal beliefs are different. Why would you try and push narratives and teach things about trans and Pride Month in schools? Why even bring it up in a school setting? What's the purpose?
Yeah, thought we were here to learn math.
But and I
in
get
history.
I get it because they're like, oh well, we need to teach these kids how to be more accepting and more give more gratitude. And I get it, like more accepting of like the LGBT community. If you're different, it's okay, cool. But I don't know. I just don't think. I think that should be. That needs to be something that
like the kids need to figure out who they're like cool or who they're not cool with being with, I guess. Like obviously, like some kids are gonna get bullied, some kids aren't gonna be popular. That happens, but I feel like kids aren't getting bullied in school because they're fucking, I feel like the bullying is a lot less. I feel like high school, maybe the bullying gets to like fucking with your mental, and like if you are questioning yourself or your identity, that gets called into a lot more question. But third graders and preschoolers aren't calling each other gay or fucking, they're not doing that kind of bullying. They say they're calling your mommy a duty head.
Right.
They're children. So I think,
yeah, honestly,
for children
you're right. You're right.
those
Type of things I feel like need to be later on. Maybe high school. Maybe start teaching about like, hey, like it's okay if you feel different or this way.
Yeah, high
that
school
way.
is definitely much more appropriate because you start becoming more mature. You start coming into your own skin more. That's completely understandable. But especially elementary school age, you don't need to learn anything about that because they don't give a fuck about that. They're not dating. They don't need to know about the spectrum. They don't need to know about that kind of things. Sometimes people that love each other, right? And lots of different people can love each other. That's literally all that needs to be said.
That's it.
Love is love, and some people love each other, no matter their circumstances. And I think that's as much as should be said in any school setting when it comes to like that topic,
100%.
Save school for the learning that we do.
100%. Hold on 1 second.
We love everybody. And everybody deserves love.
It's true. Now I would say so. It's kind of crazy because, yeah, I do believe that. Like, if you are a, if you are straight, if you are gay, or you bisexual, or if you are, trans,
non-binary,
non-binary.
If you are on that spectrum,
honestly, I could give a fuck. Like it's not my life. Like if I walk down the street, I'm not gonna be bothered by someone else's views on the world. I'm also not gonna go out of my way to say that you're wrong on your views on the world. If it's your view on the world, who the fuck am I to step in and say you're wrong about your own view about the world and how you're gonna live your fucking life?
Exactly. Love who you want to love, people. Just don't fuck kids.
That's such a good quote, dude.
Love who you want to love.
Dude, we should get back to the...
Just don't fuck children.
We should get back to the quotes from Lonnie because that's a... Love who you want to love. Just don't fuck children.
Yeah, it's a very...
Just do not...
Simple yet powerful.
Concise.
Simple yet powerful.
Concise.
It's very straightforward as well.
No, you know what's crazy though, dude? Like honestly, it's kind of wild how... I don't really have a problem with these topics. Now, I know that I think I heard this from the podcast that I was listening to with the PBD podcast, pretty big dick podcast.
Well, do you think these topics are just like explosive and like because I don't mind talking about them in general.
Let me cut you off. So, what I was gonna say is I heard this from the PBD podcast, and the main guy was basically saying. A sales mentor of his, because he was in sales pretty much his whole life, once told him that in sales, you don't talk about sex, you don't talk about religion, and you don't talk about politics.
Yeah.
Reason being, in my personal opinion, and what I've observed over, and again, I'm not a fucking, professor over here or fucking Socrates.
We know. It's okay, we know.
But I feel like in my personal opinion, those topics, sex, religion, politics,
they're most taboo in a way.
They're the most taboo because most people can't control their own emotions to agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. Most people want to change your opinion on things, even though they only sat down with one conversation with you. Most people, if you don't have the same views as them, they just immediately go to being emotional.
And most they want to change your views, and they're like, but why do you think like that? You should be thinking like me. You should be thinking like this.
Most people can't agree to disagree and sit down and have a civil conversation and be like... And I feel like it's more nowadays, and the reason being is because I feel like social media, because you can talk behind a screen, you don't have the the ability. A lot of people don't have the skill of communication in person to be like, okay, this is your viewpoint, this is my viewpoint. I'm going to stay emotionally ground level, and I'm going to say what I need to say while letting you say what you need to say, and we'll come to some sort of ground where we can say this is where we both stand. That's okay.
That doesn't happen, though.
But it's because those three things, sex, religion, and politics, instantly, like fireworks go off and set people's off. And it's because they're not, most people aren't in control of their emotions. Because think about it.
Deep stuff, man.
Think about it. If you were never an emotional person, and obviously that's impossible because everyone's human. But let's say that you were in full control of your emotions as a person. So if I was talking to you about religion, I'm an atheist, you're a Christian. Mm-hmm. You have your stances, I have my stances.
Yeah.
And you start getting emotional and angry because now obviously there's a certain level of disrespect that, let's say if I'm a Christian and I've spent my whole life being a Christian, if an atheist comes up and says you're a dumbass for believing in God, that's obviously crossing the line. That's emotional because he got emotional almost.
Because you gotta come in nicer.
Yes.
You can't just insult someone's whole moral compass and identity and call them fucking stupid.
Right. So let's play this out.
It's not cool.
Let's play this out. So you're the Christian. Yeah. I'm the atheist, right? So this is how you should do it, right? So you're just in the park. You're on a park bench. I'm walking up.
I love Jesus so much. Jesus is my best friend. I love Jesus.
Hey, do you love Jesus?
I do love Jesus. How did you know? Are you also a disciple? You follow the love of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
I was just passing by and I just heard that you were saying you love Jesus, and I just wanted to tell you,
I only speak the truth, friend. I do love Jesus.
Yeah, man. You know what? I was walking by and I heard your kind words about Jesus, and I was just like, what a fucking dumbass. What a pure idiot. If you think Jesus is real, you suck your own mama's cock. You know what? Your mom has a dick. She sucked her daddy's dick. Your fucking Jesus is bullshit, and he died on the cross for nothing. Suck my cock. That's how you should do it.
Well, you know what, my friend? It sounds like you need Jesus in your life. That's what I would say to him.
No.
That's what I would say to him.
On a real note,
shut him down religiously.
On a real note,
you need Jesus in your life, young man.
On a real note, like, if you're ever talking to someone about those things, because those are the most polarizing things to talk about.
Those explosive subject.
You have to stay level-headed, like, and in my personal opinion, like, I could never get, like, obviously everyone's going to have their own beliefs, okay? Everyone's going to have their own beliefs, and they're probably going to feel pretty strongly about those beliefs if they believe them for a long enough period of time.
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, I can just never, I could never understand, like, someone going out of their way to push their beliefs on someone else. Like, I couldn't imagine walking down the street and seeing a couple who is gay and they look happy and going out of my way to be like, ugh. Or like,
that's not in the Bible.
Yeah, like, right.
Not in my Bible.
That's not in the Bible. That would be the most insane comment.
Every time somebody does something that's not in the Bible. Not my Jesus. Not my Lord.
That's not in the Bible. No. But seriously, like, I feel like the correct way to live life is believe in your beliefs, but also don't push your beliefs on others. Mm-hmm. And let people live the way they want to live.
Stay in your own lane.
Yeah, for real, man.
Stay in your own lane.
For real.
Because, unless someone cuts into your fucking traffic and cuts you off, you can fucking, crash them, right? That's fine. But if you just stay in your lane, you're going to have a very nice time.
You're going to have a very nice time.
Like, other people might come into your lane, and that's who you got to deal with. But if you just stay in your lane, you don't have to go into nobody else's and deal with any of their bullshit. You only have to deal with the idiots that come into your lane.
Okay, on a different subject, I know that you said you watched a little bit about this, but Black Mirror. Have you ever seen I
haven't even seen an episode, sadly.
Black Mirror?
Never seen an episode.
Okay, so actually, have you seen Love, Death, and Robots?
I've seen an episode or two of that.
Okay. After this podcast, I'm going to reprimand him, and we're going to watch these two things.
It's the same thing, man. It's same, but different. It's
same. So basically,
different directors. Each episode's a different story, essentially.
Hold on. So
a different whole story.
Essentially, Black Mirror, for anybody who doesn't know, is a series on Netflix. Love, Death, and or I think it's... Yeah.
Love, Death, Robots. Or Love, Death, Robots, yeah.
Love, Death, Robots, yeah. So both of those are essentially parallel to each other. How those series work, Black Mirror is all IRL, like real life, like people acting and...
Real actors, and the other one is animated.
And the other one is animated. Now, what's super cool about these two series, and if you haven't seen them, I would highly fucking suggest you go get a joint, first of all. Don't try to watch these sober.
I also highly recommend watching them, even though I have not.
Yeah. The popular opinion over here. Clicking the like button. Hey,
it's a phenomenal show.
That encapsulated.
It's a phenomenal show. Please go watch it.
That encapsulated everything we just fucking talked about.
It's because I'm always bringing us around for full circle moments, man. You already know.
Good fucking shit.
Come on now.
No, but so Black Mirror, essentially, they have different producers, different directors. I think they probably have repeating ones, but pretty much every episode is different. And every episode's not connected to the other ones. And it's a completely different story and
different
completely
feeling,
different feel.
Different plot.
Different plot.
They're shot differently. They're directed differently. It's basically each thing is its own separate story, each episode.
And same thing with Love, Death, and Robots. But essentially, every single episode of both of those series is more or less about an underlying message about society that you kind of have to unveil throughout the course of watching the episode. But I just wanted to say, like, dude, honestly, for anyone who's never, for anyone who hasn't ever created anything or tried to create anything, fucking do it. Because honestly, like, I would love to, like, eventually, like, even like me and Lonnie, and I don't think I've ever talked to I will definitely haven't talked to Lonnie about this off camera, but on camera, I think that it would be dope if like me and you, and maybe we'd post it on this channel, but make like you ever seen those like 12-minute
like
short movies? I would love to do that. Maybe get some of our friends and we could do like a literal like
short film.
A short film. Maybe like a 10 to 20 minute like Black Mirror-esque episode.
That'd be sick.
That would just post up on this.
We could debut it for you guys. Let us know in the comments if that's something you'd possibly be interested in seeing.
Let us know. But yeah, dude. I think that, overall, creating anything is such a dope experience because you're really putting your time and effort into something
that's yours, that you made yourself.
Yes. And it's so dope.
And that's a beautiful process. The whether it's creating content or creating babies, like creation
especially
is a beautiful,
babies.
Creation is a beautiful thing.
Until you actually have the baby, then it's just like, ugh.
It gets a little... Yeah, babies can be annoying.
Babies can be fucking annoying, dude.
Crying all night long, dude. Fuck.
Like you're having sex with your beautiful girlfriend, and she's just
your not beautiful girlfriend. She could be ugly.
Yeah, or you could have a paper bag over her head. That's fine. But the moral of the story is, paper bag or not, you're gonna be able to hear them say, "Not in me." And then guess what? And then guess what?
Then guess what happens? You do that.
9 months later, baby. So.
No, I was gonna say about the paper bag thing. My father, a wise man, he told me, he once said, it doesn't matter what their face looks like. It only matters what the back of their head looks like.
Now, your father was a very wise man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a really wise man.
He's a smart guy.
He's a smart guy. Very smart. No, dude, I think it's amazing to, what the fuck? Oh yeah, creation. So creating something, I feel like everyone should do it. Whether whatever, figure out what you're passionate about creating and try and create it for others to enjoy. That's like, it's such an amazing feeling, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, dude. Creation is everywhere. You can take a pottery class. You can create a new skill set for yourself, and by going to a fucking, you can go to a self-defense class. You can start getting better on the computer. You can start learning programming. You can learn how to create video games or create fucking websites. You could learn how to create. You can become a fucking chef and learn how to create fantastic meals for you and your loved ones. You can create so many things. Start creating today.
Like a fucking army recruiter. Start creating
today.
You ever see those army commercials and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, dude, it gets me all souped up to join, and then I realize I can't.
It gets me all souped up to fucking not join when I see those.
Dude, I'm like, I bleed red, white, and blue, and then I look in the mirror and I'm like, but I also look like I bleed red, white, and blue, so I should probably not join the army.
I look at those commercials like, they can find anything better than this. It's always like
the few, the proud.
It's always like
the Marines.
It's always like a person in like an army suit and like a fucking helicopter, and they're just like getting fucking bounced around.
They're in like Fallujah or something.
Yep,
it does
and they're
not
like,
look fun.
No, it doesn't. And then they get off the fucking helicopter and they're like rubbing through mud,
and they have to save these civilians.
Yeah,
but let's be honest, it does not go like that in real life. In real life, you're getting shot at the entire time.
Yeah, you gotta.
And then you gotta evac these civvies.
And then you grab a fucking human civilian shield, throw them over your body.
An already dead one, preferably, because if you use a live one, you might get in trouble with your superiors, with your officials.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, story time.
Oh my god, that reminded you of a story time?
Yeah, dude. For anyone who doesn't know. Anyone who watched some of our previous episodes might have known that I lived in Wisconsin and I was a window salesman. But when I came back to Vegas, because I pretty much was raised in Vegas. I was born in Ohio, but raised in Vegas. I moved to Wisconsin for 2 years, then came back to Vegas. And I continued sales, but I was a solar salesman. One time I went up
to... Sell the sun, baby.
Sell that sun, baby. Sell that glass on your ceiling, boy. But, yeah, so I was doing solar sales, and I was actually going up to an appointment, and butt fucking nowhere, mind you. For some reason, all these stories where I do sales are in the butt fucking nowhere because you find the most interesting people in the butt fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was going up a fucking steep-ass hill. I don't really remember where it was, but it was like, I think somewhere towards Mount Charleston. And this guy had like an estate. Right, like a fucking mansion. So this is opposite.
That's a really big house.
Yeah, this is opposite from the Felons with Raccoons story where the house was built on stilts, white trash. Mm-hmm. This house was like fucking
nice.
Yeah, fucking rich as fuck. Right,
really nice.
So
if you want to get really big words in there.
Yeah, he was a. This is so interesting. Like the dichotomy of like what makes people and like, because, like, I just met this guy, right? So, long story short, I come up to the house. I can't know where to go because there's only, like, 2 gates. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's, like, 2 big-ass gates, and I just seen, like, a bunch of land. One of the gates eventually opens, and I go through it, and I meet this guy at his fucking palatial fucking estate in the mountains.
Yeah.
And essentially, we meet, whatever, like, I start talking to him about solar. I find out that he's not qualified for solar because a lot of the time solar depends on like the roof space and the offset. So like a lot of the time if you're selling solar, you want 100% offset, which means you want 100% of your electricity to come from solar. Otherwise, a lot of the time it's really not worth it, to be honest. It depends on how good of a salesman
Hope you're listening at home. If you're looking for solar anytime soon, this is your guy.
For real. But his house wasn't really meant for solar, essentially, right?
Yeah.
But so we ended up talking about it, whatever the case may be. We ended up getting off the topic solar, and he, within like 20 to 30 minutes of this conversation, started talking about the fact that he was a previous Marine Army troop that fought in Iraq.
That's cool.
So initially it was cool. I was like, wow, like that's, a really cool story, whatever.
Service.
but he was like a special ops kind of guy, right?
Oh, so he's seen some shit. He's seen some shit,
and guess what happened? So I guess his little troop, his
unit,
and it's insane that he fucking like told me all this, even though I literally just met him
for like 20 minutes,
30 minutes ago. And
this is the male form of trauma dumping. This is the male form of getting shit off your chest.
The male form of getting shit off your chest. So,
hey, I just met you 20 minutes ago, bro. You want to hear about my deepest, darkest
moments
of my life?
Dead ass. So he literally goes into the story about how he was in Iraq and he was on his special troops, special operations mission.
Mm-hmm.
And how this was obviously years ago at this point, because, you know, this wasn't that long ago from, well, it was like a year ago actually from now. But anyways, homie starts talking about how he and his troop came up on a village. And it was dark. It was like middle of the night and everyone was sleeping in the village. They could see because they had like a thermal
night vision or something.
I think they had a drone that was like scouting it out, and they seen all the thermal like scope of how many people, and
they were all laying in bed.
And they needed to clear the area.
Kill everybody in bed?
Kill everybody that was sleeping, and these were not terrorists.
Civvies. Or these were civvies?
These were civilians. So
he killed civilians?
Exactly.
Dude, you're going to get us on a fucking watch list.
I know, dead ass. But so basically, like, well, I don't even fucking remember his name, and I wouldn't say it anyways, but this guy told me that the fact that his commanding officer basically was like, listen, like, you know, like, we need this village cleared out. You are going to have to go in there, and you're going to have to clear the fucking village. And this guy was telling me about how he went in there, but he didn't kill. And this sounded so sounded very not real to me, but he said that, but the way he said it and the emotion he said it with, I could tell that he wasn't lying, which is kind of a crazy thing. Cuz he was an older guy. He wasn't young by any means, and he was a lot older. And he was like, "Yeah, you know, when I went in there, like there was a kid, and he just, I guess, executed the parents, and he got to the kid, and he just couldn't do it. And he left, and when they left the village, they were supposed to clear it out, but there was still a kid there, and he ended up going to jail in the army."
Because he didn't kill the kid.
And they said that he, you know, obviously disobeyed orders. Him and his buddy, I guess both were in the same. I think he was telling me that he was the leader of the squad, and he was the one who I think went in with the rest of his squad. But it was crazy because he was telling me about the fact that eventually, and how it works in the army, he was telling me.
So fucked up, man.
But how it works in the army, he was telling me, is that there's not a jury, and there's not a judge. It's all of your superiors, and they all just come to a conclusion based off of the evidence. They all come to a conclusion together.
Yeah, I saw this in a movie, fucking Hacksaw Ridge.
Yep.
About Desmond Doss. They just fucking, they're like,
they decide.
Did you fucking disobey orders? Then you're guilty.
Yep.
So that's, unless someone from way, way high up, like the president or something, pardons you, you're fucked.
You're fucked. And he said he went to jail, and he was bunkmates with one of his best friends.
O.J. Simpson?
Fucking spoils every one of my stories.
I don't even know how I knew that.
No, but seriously, it wasn't O.J. Simpson. It was literally, he was saying it was one of his
buddies.
One of his best friends, he said.
From what?
No, from the squad. From the squad. So
they both got in trouble.
He was the leader of the squad, and his whole squad got disobeyed because they didn't kill a single kid in this village.
Would you have killed the kid?
No. Maybe. I don't know, dude. Honestly, I can't. Because
no.
he was.
Maybe. I don't know. I want to keep my job.
He was telling me about it, and he said he made it sound terrible because when he went to jail, he was bunkmates with his best buddy from his squad,
So we don't kill
Hold
the
on,
kid.
hold
Now
on.
we're in jail together.
Yes.
That'd be great. That'd be fun.
No, because his best friend killed himself.
Oh. Way to ruin the story.
Dude, his best friend killed himself while they were in the same cell.
What, he just hung himself?
He killed himself, yeah. During the middle of the night.
Dude.
Killed himself.
It's so fucked up, dude.
It is. And
Why
he
are
told
you
me
telling
all
me
this.
this story?
He told me all
Why
this.
are you telling me?
Dude, it was literally, I only met this motherfucker for like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, the male version of a trauma dump.
Just strangers.
Hey, pal, I just met you 20 minutes ago.
Let me share the darkest story.
Let me tell you the reasons why I want to kill myself. It's fucking sad, dude. All because they didn't kill a kid?
Yeah. Because you can't have anything that compromises the mission. You know, I would have fucking shot that. No, I'm just kidding.
If the kid was named,
I don't know. How do you
kid
decide that?
If the kid was named Hitler, I'm pulling the trigger.
Maybe that guy became someone crazy, and we're gonna find out in like 10 years.
The kid? Great. Great. Now there's gonna be a movie about this in 10 years.
But dude, honestly,
dude.
What would you do?
I wouldn't kill the kid. I wouldn't.
But seriously, don't fucking lie. Don't fucking lie. Let me paint you the picture again. Your fucking supervisor. He said he was in jail for like, I think he at least said like 5 or 6 years. He was in military jail in Iraq.
That's probably not fun. It's probably pretty rough.
And you already killed the mom and the fucking wife, but the kid. Now you're at the kid and you're trying to pull the trigger and you're like,
well, you know, no offense to the kid or the man that told you this story. He should have just fucking killed the kid. If that was the case, he should have just killed each. I mean, he already killed the kid's parents. The kid doesn't have anything to live for. The kid's gonna be dead in 2 weeks from starvation, anyways.
But maybe not. Maybe he comes across another village, or maybe another. So maybe the Taliban rolls through the village, and they find the kid,
and they recruit the kid,
and he becomes Adolf Hitler.
So now you gotta kill the kid.
Now you gotta kill the kid, dog.
Because we can't have another Hitler running around.
But see, no, seriously, I wouldn't obviously don't condone killing kids, but that's such a.
That's good. I'm glad you don't condone the murder of children.
That's such a crazy dilemma, of like good versus evil.
Because it's like, do you shoot a kid in the face to protect America?
Or do you go to jail for fucking 5 years in a military prison for disobeying orders?
Because you didn't shoot a kid.
And then see your best friend hang himself.
That's the thing, man. I don't think.
Imagine this.
I feel
we
like
go to jail because you didn't pull the trigger, and then I hang myself, and you wake up in your fucking jail cell, and you're like, oh, there's Alex. Dead.
He must be. He's doing some pull-ups. Nope. He's hanging.
And then you're. Guess what? You're still there for another 2 years.
Yeah, they don't just. They don't just let me out. Oh my God, he killed himself. Well, you're free to go, buddy.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I guess not. You know, I don't know, man. It's like, obviously you don't want to kill a kid. You don't want to do that.
Right.
But you don't want to spend. I mean, yeah, I feel like the honorable thing to do is to not kill the kid and just take the jail time.
The honorable thing to do is not kill the kid and take the jail time.
But if that kid was named Hitler, I'm probably shooting the kid.
Okay, but also, though, think about this. Like you said, I don't know, dude.
You posed a pretty crazy thing.
Right? That's a crazy fucking question.
I can't believe you've never told me this before.
I literally just
I wish you never did.
I know. Well, now everyone knows. But I literally just thought of it. I literally just thought of it because I was like, what are like, you know, like I just literally thought of that off the top.
Could you imagine how much terrible stuff has gone on, but we have no idea?
Everything, dog. They've done the most. War has produced some of the most disgusting, criminal things in life that you could probably imagine.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely terrible.
But on this note, we want to end the podcast because it's a short episode.
Somber note for you all to end on there.
Take this with you.
Don't trust the government.
Don't trust the government. Love Andrew Tate.
Just try your best not to kill kids.
And don't fuck them.
Don't fuck kids and don't kill them unless you have a really, really good reason.
No, just don't do it. Actually,
Don't fuck kids and don't kill. Don't fuck kids and don't kill them unless you have a really good reason.
More of this episode is we have to go before we go to fucking jail because.
Moral of the story is we should probably end it and stop talking before we get in more trouble.
No, but seriously, I love all you guys.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe.
All of it.
You guys mean the world to us. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you stayed till the end, and if you did, please like the video and let us know.
And comment banana.
Comment banana
if you're at this point in the episode.
Because why not, right?
Because why not?
Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week. Later.
Peace.
Peace.